Why, hello, how are you doing? My name is Simo, welcome to my YouTube channel, and right now going on my YouTube channel it is shopping month. So if you head over to my Facebook page, every single day of November I will be talking about small businesses, and the whole point is to try and encourage people to shop small because we're coming up to Christmas. I know, and it's now okay for me to say that because we're now like midway through November. But anyway, today's video is going to be all about how you can save money as a figure skater. So some of these tips will be for people trying to get into figure skating, or it may be people that are already into figure skating, but I've been figure skating for 17 years, and in that time I have found some ways, or my family have found some ways to make it ever so slightly more affordable, because I did talk about this in my things that you should know about ice skating video. Is figure skating is expensive, and yes, all sports are expensive to an extent, but figure skating gets expensive very, very quickly. And that is what I'm going to talk about today in this video, is just a few ways, tips and tricks, things that I've learned to save money figure skating. I think that was a very long intro, and just before we continue, I've just had my hair done. So I'm feeling very cute, even though my skin is a little bit gross at the moment. And also I love this huge giant Game of Thrones t-shirt. Anyway, I have notes on my phone. So we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4 tips on how to save money in ice skating. And tip number 1 is buy second hand. So 2 elements of figure skating that are exceptionally expensive are dresses and skates. When you get to a certain level in skating, you cannot buy skates secondhand. I would go as far to say that it is dangerous, because the skates that you buy have to be able to support your ankle and support you based on the level of jumps that you're doing. So I would say if you're attempting an axel and double jumps, you should not be buying secondhand skates, because they need to be stiff enough to be able to hold your ankle in place. So I would say that's a safety concern. But if you are new to skating, what is perfect, because skates are exceptionally expensive. They are so expensive, and you need to buy them constantly. So especially if you're a little bit younger and your feet are still growing, if you buy them second hand, they may be in like really good condition, but what basically happened is someone grew out of their skates, so they no longer fitted and they had to get a new pair. So you can then get that basically new pair or very good pair in your size secondhand for a lot cheaper. Especially if you're a new skater, secondhand ice skates will be a huge money saver for you. And if you're looking for secondhand ice skates, go speak to your skating club. Usually the mums in skating clubs are almost like, skating mums are amazing. They're like a little network. Like if you need anything to do with skating, go speak to a skating mum. They will know someone, they will have their phone number, they will be able to get you whatever. So absolutely secondhand ice skates. And then the other one is secondhand dresses. So again, what happens is you get some very fancy figure skaters that get a brand new dress every year for a program, and that specific dress to them is for that program. But sometimes like people's music isn't that tailored, so the dress isn't, you can only skate to this. But because they no longer skate to that music, they will then sell this outstandingly beautiful dress for a lot cheaper than what they paid for it, so that they can then buy a new dress. So you can then get a much cheaper dress secondhand, and it can save you a lot of money. Again, there are a lot of like Facebook groups, and yeah, Facebook groups are probably the best place you can have a look for some secondhand skating stuff. And again, skating mums will almost always be trying to pop off, sell off, get rid of, sell some old skating dresses basically. So again, go speak to the skating mums. They will know. Because in figure skating, you need a nice quality dress, you need a good dress, but you don't need an exceptionally beautiful custom made dress. You need one that's like fit for purpose, so you can't just wear any old dress on the ice. But secondhand dresses, like competition dresses, are maybe only worn once or twice a year, a couple of times a year for a couple of minutes at a time. And then that's it, they'll just sit in a cupboard forever. So you can save a fortune buying your dresses secondhand. And another option, because I don't really buy my dresses secondhand, but it's because I'm an adult I'm a fully grown woman, and I would say the second-hand dress market is more tailored to like your smaller kids are more likely to grow out of dresses. But I just keep my dresses. So whenever I get a dress, so I have maybe 2 dresses, 3 dresses that I've worn for years, like easily 6 or 7 years. So yes, that dress was expensive, but I've kept it for a long period of time. And as much as I would love to get a brand new, beautiful, custom-made dress every year, they're expensive, so I'm not going to do it. This then leads us on to probably one of the biggest money-making tips. Money-making? What video is this? This then leads us on to one of the biggest money-saving tips I can give you for a figure skater or an ice skating mum. Learn to rhinestone. So, rhinestoning is not difficult to do, but it is very, very time consuming. It will take hours and hours and hours and hours to rhinestone a full dress. And we learned pretty quickly that you can buy dresses pretty cheap. Like, you can get a really nice skating dress for £100. And I know that's expensive, but in a skating world, that's really, really cheap for a skating dress. But what you will find is those £100 skating dresses are boring. They're really plain, no sparkle. But then that exact same dress with, say, 100 rhinestones will then be £200. And then 1,000 rhinestones, it will then be £600. Like, if you think about it, skating dresses are very, very simple. Like, I don't want to go into the ways of making them. Like, I know they're complicated to make because it's difficult fabric to work with, but it's not a lot of fabric. Where the price gets really jacked up is the rhinestones. So, and the reason that it's so expensive, because rhinestones themselves are not that expensive. It's the time that you pay someone to spend hours and hours and hours putting them on the dress. So if you just then take that on, it can honestly save you a fortune. Like, I've heard of girls spending 2 to 3 grand on a skating dress, and it's head to toe covered in rhinestones. But let me tell you, my dresses were just as blinged as everybody else's throughout my whole competition career, if not more. And my mum rhinestoned them all, and then when I got older, I rhinestoned some of them. And we did not spend 2 to 3 grand on a skating dress because we couldn't afford it. So I cannot, like, I don't know how loud to shout that or how many times to say it, learn to rhinestone, because anything, even like plain black gloves with a couple of little rhinestones will take that price, those plain black gloves, from like £2-3 to £20. So if you're watching this thinking, oh, I want those sparkly gloves, they're really pretty, just buy cheap ones, buy some rhinestones, learn to rhinestone, and there you go, you will save a fortune. Like, you will save a fortune. There will be an upfront cost of the rhinestones, the glue, or if you go for hot fix ones, which is the ones that we went for, excuse me, hiccup. But yeah, in the long run, if you've got 17 years of skating ahead of you like I did, or do, I still skate, then you 1000% should learn to rhinestone. Tip number 3 to save money ice skating is to never, ever, ever, ever purchase crash pad shorts. I will insert some pictures now of what they look like. But basically what it is, it's shorts with built-in crash pads, and they cost a lot of money, like a lot of money. And I have purchased a few in the past, and what I found was the material that they used in them was very, very like teeny tiny thin, so they weren't that great. And then because they were like stitched in where the company chose as opposed to where like I want them, you're then stuck with the padding where it's designated. So they're a waste of money. Like, I can see a pair of shorts go for like 70-80 quid just because they've got bum pads stuck in them, and I just don't want to pay that money. It's too much. And especially when, so I made a whole video about this. My first ever video for BBC The Social was called How to Fall on Your Arse Correctly. I will leave a link down below. If you are completely brand new to ice skating, watch that video, watch it again, take it in, because everything I say in that, I know it's got like a comedic spin, but it's gold. It's exactly what you need to know before you set foot in the ice. And in the second part of that video, I show you how to make bum pads. and how I've made bum pads for years. Like I still have, so I bought a yoga mat. I'm so rambly today, I am so sorry. But I bought a yoga mat off Amazon easily like 3-ish years ago. Yeah, maybe about 3-ish years ago. And it cost me about £8. And what I do is I cut out the bum pad shape. Again, this is all in the video for BBC The Social, so go watch that. But yeah, I cut out the bum pad shape and then I just shove it down my tights. And then what's really good about that is if you're learning a new jump and you constantly, so sometimes I would be learning a jump and just for whatever reason I'd keep smacking like different bits of my body on the ice. So sometimes you'd like hit your elbow, or if you'd hurt your knee, you can just get this yoga mat material, cut it out to the shape you want, shove it into your tights, shove it into your leggings, and then hey presto, you have exceptionally cheap bum pads that you can put wherever you want. You're not stuck with your fancy, I nearly said fancy ass pads, and that's correct because they're fancy ass pads. Okay, on a serious note, but yeah, this is the mood I'm in today. That was hilarious to me. But honestly, just don't waste your money on them. Don't buy them. Get a yoga mat, make your own bum pads, and there you go. Super cheap. You will not hurt, well, you might hurt yourself, but you're going to get better protection than you would from these crappy little ones that are going to cost you a fortune. And again, watch the video. The bum pads that I use are like that thick. So great. Cannot recommend that enough. Do not buy fancy figure skating branded pads. Then this one may seem obvious and I don't want anyone to get offended by it, but the best way to save money figure skating is to avoid ice skating brands like the plague. Do not go near them. You have some beautiful skating brands out there. Things like Chic Sport, Frozen Couture, like they are stunning, but they are so expensive. Like I'm quite a big fan of Gymshark, and a lot of people say, oh my goodness, like Gymshark leggings are so expensive. And I'm just like, oh honey, you've never seen ice skating leggings. Ice skating leggings can easily be like £100. Easily. And that's exceptionally expensive. Whereas Gymshark leggings, just as good, could be about £50. I have a couple of their Flex range, which are really stretchy and I find them great to skate in. And I think I bought them for 20 or 30 quid. And yeah, so that's a very, very easy way to save you some money. Because yes, they are like specifically designed for the sport and there's a few features in them that I love. So I have a pair of Frozen Couture leggings and what they do is they like peel over the heel, which is like a fashion thing that I love in ice skating, because if you buy like regular gym leggings, they'll just come to like, sorry, you're going to see that I'm in jammy bottoms, but the fancy skating leggings will come round your heel like this, and in regular leggings will stop at your ankle here. I don't know how else to illustrate that. I probably could have put a picture up. But anyway, you got to see my jammy bottoms and my beautiful ankles. But yeah, you don't need them. There is nothing magical about them that makes them perfect for ice skating. You can just go to Sports Direct or anywhere else and buy any leggings and get away with them. My recommendations, get them as like a flexible material as possible. I've had a couple of running leggings that are quite stiff. So they're not perfect for skating, so get as much lycra as you can in there. Make sure they are very, very thick, because you do have blades and you get tights and you don't want non-squat proof leggings on the ice. But you can find them, because I wear them. I don't have a lot of skating branded things. Like I have a couple of pieces and I do really love them. They are good, but they are expensive. So your wardrobe does not need to be full of them. You do not need it. So I really hope that you found that video helpful. I do have a couple of more tips in mind, but I might save them aside for a part 2. If you have any other money saving tips, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. Help everybody out, like I said, and have said thousands of times, ice skating is very expensive, so anywhere we can save a couple of pennies is very, very helpful. So I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Check out my Facebook page. That was a point down the way, not along the way. But yeah, check out my Facebook page. I can't even point today. But yeah, check out my Facebook page for all of my shop small recommendations, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!